My family moved here to Lansing in August of 2022. And when I decided to apply for the job here, I knew that I would be interested in working here at Sycamore Creek Church, but I wasn't quite sure about Lansing. So my husband Nathan and I decided to drive from Chicago for a day or two to visit my sister's family, who lives in Holt. Yes, weird twist of fate for us two Carolina girls to wind up here. And we came so that we could see Lansing for ourselves. I contacted Pastor Tom, and he arranged for my husband and I to have lunch with him at Saddleback Barbecue. I wanted to like Lansing, so I asked him what I thought would be a pretty easy question. What do you love about Lansing? And he just kind of stared at me like, oh, you're starting with the hard questions, huh? I guess it wasn't such an easy question after all. Now, as we drove home that day, I got a long email from Tom with lots of reasons why Lansing is a great place to live. He's told me a few times in this past year that his second response is often better than his first, and that was true in this instance. He talked about the outsized impact that our community has on the state. He talked about the people here who are amazing. He said this to me: if you're called to Lansing, then you will grow to love this place because you will love the people. Not because it's better than Chicago or Petoskey, but because you have fallen in love with the people that God has called you to be with. And that will be enough. God will give you the grace to meet that call over time. And he was right. At that trip, I saw Saddleback Barbecue and Blue Owl Coffee. I saw Rusty Mug in Rio Town and visited the next time we came. We went to Sweet Sensations with my sister's family and even went to Culver's for the very first time. When we moved here, we visited Potter Park Zoo together. We saw Wink and Blink and a Nod. We went to the market in Rio Town. And over the last 9 months, we've seen local high school plays. We've gone to games at MSU and a homecoming parade. We've visited more restaurants and gone to a Lugnuts game. We have plans now to go to the UP this summer. We want to get over to the Ari Olds Museum and Impression 5. We want to get out on the water and go camping sometimes. It's like the more that we do and see, the more we realize there is to do and see. And every time we try something else, it's like it reveals the next thing that we should do. It's like Shrek says about himself, Lansing is like an onion. It has layers. And the more you look, the more you see. Now, this can happen in so many places. I've just told you a story about moving to a new place and discovering more. And it can also happen when you meet someone new for the first time. And then over time, you just keep learning more and more things about them and realizing how little you know about that person. Some of you are trying not to look pointedly at your spouse right now. Or maybe you took on a new role, a job or a volunteer thing, and someone told you, oh, it's just a little admin work. And before you know it, you're like elbow deep in a filing cabinet and totally overwhelmed. We often think we understand something, but the more we know, the more we realize we don't know. And I think this might be the case for us as we look together at the Nicene Creed. The more we look, the more we see. So here's a question for us to chat about. We can stop and reflect on this. What is something that has become more and more complex and interesting the more you thought about it? Take a minute and talk about it.